Okay guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you guys my code for my PC freezing flash drive. And if you haven't seen that in action yet, I recommend looking at that video first, link on the screen and in the description. Now, let's get to it. We're going to start with this one because it's a good place to start. And this is my batch file. This command means that means all of this is invisible in the command window, which looks like that. Except this one would be a different color, have different color text and background, which coincides with those, but that's not essential for making a program that freezes a PC. It doesn't matter what color it is. And in fact, the .vbs file makes this entire window invisible, so don't worry about any of that. What's important are these. These commands open these files, the VBS files, which are these. Now, you could just have start freeze.bat and open a whole bunch of command windows. That also works, but it's not as stealthy, so I prefer the other way, which is to have it open 5 of these files. And sorry, let me just adjust my mic. That's what this file looks like. And I'm not an expert with this type of code, but basically you put this, and this in there, and then you put the file extension here to the program you want to be opened, and that opens the file without presenting any graphical evidence of the file unless you go into Task Manager, which you're not going to be able to do if the screen's frozen. If you're wondering what this is, that just changes the text on the top of the command window. Okay, so now I'd like to go over the part about coding the USB rubber duck. Now, this is a fairly lengthy, complicated process, so if you really don't want to use the USB rubber duck, then maybe you should go watch something else. But it might be interesting, so the first step is to make a text document. It doesn't matter what title it is, but you're going to need to remember that for later. It's good to start with a couple delays. I believe this number is milliseconds. Pretty much any number can go there. Now, GUI-R tells the duck to press the Windows key on your keyboard and R at the same time. Another delay, string notepad, which means basically type notepad. Enter is the enter button on the keyboard. Another delay. String at echo off. So it typed the first line of the batch program. and you got to do that for every single line. As far as I know, there's no better way to do that. Some of the code might be able to be condensed, I'm not quite sure. Now, since you can't go through the windows that say, here, save this, instead it's easier to use the keyboard shortcut Control S, which will bring up the save menu, the same as clicking save. Another delay. This ensures that it goes in the documents folder of any user. It's not gonna be coded as %user profile %. That's code to replace that highlighted text with whatever the user's name is, which is good because that way you don't need to know the user's username. Alt-Y is yes on menu. For example, if they already have a file with the name freeze.bat in documents, then the error message is going to come up. If you're going to do this multiple times, then there will be a freeze.bat program there. And if you don't do that, then it's just going to be typing away while the pop-up's in the way, which is why it's good to have Alt-Y there. Because if that window doesn't come up, and it's the first time you plugged it into their PC and they don't have this file, then this isn't going to do anything at all. So either way, you're good. Delay, Alt and F4 is a keyboard shortcut that closes the current window that's open. Some of you probably know that. It's a common prank. Another GUI R. I don't know if you can say this as GUI. It's the letters GUI, which stands for Graphical User Interface, but I've just been calling it GUI. I don't know if that's common or not. But for the sake of this video, I'm sure it's fine. Then it types the other program and saves it. Also, if you don't know what Windows R does, it does that, and then you can plug in the name of any program, maybe with some exceptions. For example, you can't just put a batch file name in there and have it show up, because you gotta have the file path. Just like this. That code tells it to put that in the Windows R run menu. And then it runs. But you can't just save this onto the duck. There's a little bit more process you have to go through first. Once you have the text document, then you have to run this program, a Java program that you can download from I don't know off the top of my head, but maybe I'll put a link in the description. It's pretty easy to find. And start is just a basic batch command that apparently you need to run the Java program, duck encode. So this batch file is just running duck encode. And And then there's a pause afterward, because otherwise this window would just close afterward. And what you're really supposed to do is put it in a command window like this and drag it in there, enter. That didn't work because the file directory is wrong. Here, let me just fix that real quick. Okay, so this is how you change the directory. Did everyone see what I did? I typed cd space and then the file location, which I just clicked and dragged because I can do that. And then it ran that. But if you type anything in here, or type anything at all in there, I was going to say type anything in there and press enter, but as you can see, that's not the case. So now this command window is running with the right file directory. And if I put in the Java commands, so that's the code, and that's how you work your duck encode Java file. With the command java -jar duckencode.jar -I test.txt. Now, test.txt is going to be replaced with whatever you saved your text document as. In this case, freeze.txt. And do note that it is case sensitive. And you have the option of setting an output title. And you do that by typing -o, your title, and then .bin. It's gotta be .bin. I recommend saving the title as, that means the text right here, changing that to inject, because inject.bin is what the rubber duck does, because you're going to save that to the micro SD card that goes in the fake flash drive. You can have other stuff on that SD card, for example, other inputs. As many as you want, but none of them can be called inject unless you want to be using that one, which is why I have freeze.bin and inject.bin with the same code, so that way if I want to put a different injection on there, I still have the freezer for if I need to use it. And then you just put the case on your fake flash drive and you're good to go. Hope everyone enjoyed and found my tutorial informative. Another thing I think I should mention, if you'll give me a second, you don't want to worry about all that Java stuff. You can just put your .text document, copy and paste the code in here. The code and not the file. The code in here, and then it'll just eject it as a bin, as usual. Now you've got a couple of options here. And these options are they coincide with what type of keyboard you're using. Apparently in all these different countries, the code for the keyboards is slightly different. So that's worth noting. All in all, the USB Rubber Duck is a really good tool, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and maybe give me some feedback. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't. You might enjoy some of my other videos. You can see them here. That's it, guys. Peace out. And then it just opens 5 more of sochill.vbs, which is this one. I don't know if you guys can see the cursor. Hold on one second. You cannot. Guess I'm starting over from scratch. This video will sink into oblivion. Goodbye, world.